Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Hope you're all doing amazing today. In this video, we're diving into the latest updates about Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos. You don't want to miss this. So make sure to stay tuned till the end and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. For years, Savannah Guthrie has been a steady, familiar presence on American television, a voice of calm in chaos, a warm smile on cold mornings, a figure who carried both breaking news and personal stories with grace. But on this particular morning, viewers tuned in expecting the usual blend of headlines, interviews, and friendly banter. Instead, they witnessed something that shook them deeply. Savannah Guthrie's composure slowly crumbling on live television as she shared news that left fans heartbroken. The lights were bright inside Studio 1A, but for the first time in a long time, Savannah looked dimmer, her smile forced, her voice trembling under the weight of something she was trying to hold together. Even her co-hosts sensed it. Viewers at home immediately felt that something was wrong. And they were right. A heavy silence before the storm. The segment before the announcement had run like any ordinary broadcast. Weather, political updates, a lighthearted bit about holiday recipes. But throughout it all, Savannah barely spoke except when necessary. Her hands were clasped too tightly. She kept looking down at her notes, as if reading them over and over might distract her from the emotions building inside. Then came the moment. "We have some personal news to share," Savannah finally said, breath catching in her throat. It was a simple line, but those 8 words sent a tremor through the studio. Her co-hosts turned toward her gently, waiting. A long silence followed, one so heavy, so unnatural for morning television that even viewers felt the pressure of it. When she finally spoke, the heartbreak poured out. The news that shattered fans. With tears filling her eyes, Savannah revealed that a beloved member of her immediate family had been diagnosed with a critical, life-altering illness. Someone she had spoken about many times on air. Someone fans felt they knew because of the stories she'd lovingly shared, stories of childhood memories, holiday traditions, and late-night phone calls that only strengthened the bond they admired so much. Her voice cracked as she said the words. And suddenly, Savannah Guthrie, always the professional, the journalist, the anchor, was simply a daughter trying to hold on to hope in the face of something terrifying. The announcement wasn't embellished. She didn't try to dramatize it or hide the emotion. She simply spoke as herself, stripped of the polished layers that television demands. "I may need some time away," she said softly, "to focus on what truly matters right now." Her breath broke, a tear slipped down. And millions of fans cried with her. Studio 1 falls silent. In the studio, no one moved. Camera operators lowered their eyes. Crew members who had worked with Savannah for years stood motionless at their stations. Her co-host reached over and squeezed her hand, offering comfort in the only way possible during a live broadcast. It wasn't common for Savannah to show vulnerability so openly. She had covered wars, tragedies, political chaos, and global disasters, but she always held it together because that was her role. That was her responsibility. Yet now, faced with something deeply personal, she couldn't hide it. And she didn't want to. "Family has always been at the center of my life," she said. "And sometimes life reminds you very sharply of what you cannot take for granted." Fans flooded social media instantly. Within minutes, Savannah Guthrie trended across platforms, accompanied by messages of love, support, and shock. Clips of the emotional moment circulated across the internet, many viewers rewatching with tears in their eyes. Behind the scenes, a battle already underway. What viewers didn't know was that Savannah had been dealing with this painful situation privately for weeks. Off camera, she had been carrying a heavy burden, long hospital visits, emotional calls in the middle of the night, days when she barely slept before showing up for the broadcast anyway. Friends close to her later revealed that she had tried everything possible to keep the news private, hoping things would improve before she needed to say anything publicly. But as the situation worsened, she realized she couldn't keep pretending everything was fine, especially when the weight of it was visibly draining her. "She's strong," one colleague said, "stronger than most people realize. But even the strongest people have their breaking point." Savannah's breaking point had come in the form of a truth she could no longer hold alone. The nation reacts, a wave of support. As the hours passed, thousands of viewers shared emotional posts, some expressing shock, others sending prayers or sharing their own stories of personal battles with illness. Many said they had never seen Savannah look so vulnerable, and yet they admired her even more for it. "She's always been our morning light," one fan wrote. "Today she showed she's human, and we love her for it." Public figures, celebrities, colleagues, journalists, and even political leaders released statements expressing support. The unity was overwhelming. It was rare for a TV personality to evoke this kind of nationwide emotional response. But Savannah wasn't just any TV personality. She had been in viewers' living rooms for years, guiding them through some of the most difficult and defining moments in modern history. And now they were ready to stand by her. A quiet walk after the broadcast. After the emotional announcement, the show continued, but Savannah stepped away from the desk during a commercial break. Cameras caught her walking offstage with her head down and a tissue in her hand. Co-hosts followed behind her, offering comfort. Outside the studio, the crisp morning air hit her, and she finally let herself cry freely, away from the lights, away from the pressure, away from the millions of eyes. Witnesses described the moment as devastating but real. She stood near the sidewalk, her hands trembling slightly, her breathing uneven as she tried to regain control. She wasn't crying for show, one crew member said. It was raw heartbreak. Minutes later, she straightened up, took a few deep breaths, and returned inside. Not because she had to, but because she wanted to finish what she had started. That resilience left a deep impression on everyone. Her message to fans, a promise of strength. Later in the final segment of the show, Savannah looked directly into the camera. Her voice was steadier now, her expression calmer, though her eyes were still red and swollen. "I don't know what the coming weeks will look like," she said, "but I do know this. I am grateful for your kindness, your support, and the love that this community, not just our studio, but all of you, brings into the world every day." She paused, pressing her lips together to stop more tears from falling. "This is not goodbye. It's just a moment of regrouping, refocusing, and being present for someone I love deeply. I will share updates when I can, and I hope you'll keep us in your hearts." The fact that she spoke about sharing updates convinced viewers that the fight ahead would be tough, long, and emotionally draining. But she remained committed to honesty, even when the truth hurt. The person behind the anchor. Savannah Guthrie has always been a professional, but what people sometimes forget is that she is also a mother, a wife, a sister, a daughter. She has a life beyond the cameras, one filled with laughter, love, and vulnerability. And on this day, she allowed her audience to see those vulnerabilities up close. The heartbreak she was navigating wasn't just her story. It resonated with anyone who had ever sat in a hospital hallway waiting for answers, anyone who had ever held on to hope when life delivered an unexpected blow, anyone who had ever loved someone enough to feel their pain as if it were their own. Savannah's emotional transparency connected her to viewers in a deeper way than any interview or news report ever could. What comes next? After the broadcast, the network released a short statement acknowledging Savannah's family situation and affirming that she would be taking time off when needed. They emphasized that she would return when she felt ready and that the team would support her fully through the difficult period ahead. Behind the scenes, arrangements were already being made to lighten her schedule, allowing her to be with her family without the pressure of daily broadcasting. Fans, meanwhile, continued sending messages, some sharing similar battles, some offering prayers, some simply thanking her for her honesty. It became clear that this moment would be remembered not as a sign of weakness, but as a powerful reminder of the humanity behind public figures. A final moment of courage. As the day ended, Savannah posted a brief message online. "Thank you from the bottom of my heart. We're taking things one day at a time. Your love means more than you know." The post received millions of reactions in hours. People weren't just supporting a journalist, they were supporting a human being who had spent years supporting them, informing them, and comforting them during national tragedies. This time, it was her turn to receive that comfort. Conclusion: a heartfelt chapter begins. Savannah Guthrie's breakdown wasn't an end. It wasn't even a failure. It was a chapter, a painful, emotional chapter that revealed her strength, her vulnerability, and her unwavering love for her family.